This whiskey is not for the faint of heart. This right here is one of my all-time favorite scotches. I think this bottle is so underrated and so punching above its weight class that it's not even funny. And like nobody ever talks about it. I don't know why. I never hear anything ever about the Highland Park Magnus. Everybody always raves about, you know, Highland Park 12, Highland Park 15, Highland Park 18, but no one ever talks about this bad boy. The forgotten stepchild. The forgotten cousin. Nobody ever talks about it. And I've actually been saving this bottle for a while. I bought this a number of months ago, but I knew I needed to do a video on it because it's such a dang good bottle. And trust me, this was hard keeping this one sealed, but I like this one so much, I figured, hey, I have to do a video and have the cork pop on camera. So hopefully this one doesn't let me down. Highland Park Magnus, single malt Scotch whiskey, 40% alcohol by volume. On the back, Highland Park Magnus, unapologetically bold, got that right, smoky and undeniably Orcadian. This single malt bears the soul of our Viking ancestors and the name of the Just One, our founder, Magnus Unsen. Enjoy a whiskey crafted in the old way by a new generation of Vikings. Skål. So, I think it's time to finally open this thing. Also, they wrote on the back Skål, S-K-A-L, with a little, I forget what that's called, but the little circle above the A, which, I mean, if you know anything about Minnesota or the Vikings, they say Skål, S-K-O-L. So I don't know if that's, I should know this, I don't know if that's the English translation or if this is a different dialect. I'm not sure how that works. I'll have to do some research on that. Here's just a little hat. Don't need that anymore. All right, a moment of truth. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna pull a Mr. Rogers and come around to this side. So hopefully, speak. Shh. Quiet. Quiet. Quiet on the set. Not bad. There's been better. But what the sound lacks in, I know the flavor makes up. So, Highland Park Magnus. I haven't had this in a long time, so I don't remember anything about the notes on the nose or on the palate. I just remember it being an exceptionally smooth, satisfying, smoky whiskey for an amazing price. Like, this thing sells for 50 Canadian dollars. It should be double that. As far as I'm concerned, it packs such a punch. It should be with whiskeys that are twice its price. Talked this thing up so much, I'm almost scared to take a sip now because I don't even know how to describe how good I remember it being. On the nose, not a lot of brine or anything there. No sea spray. You know, I remember it being smoky. You'd think that there'd be more there on the nose. I'm getting just a little, like the faintest little bit of iodine. Just a little bit. Man, it's really playing with my nose here. Well, let's see if the tongue can make up for it. That's beautiful. That is so well rounded. There's just like a little bit of smoke. There's just like a little bit of everything in here that makes it so enjoyable. Yeah. Just a little bit of smoke. The smallest bit of iodine or peatiness. What else we got going in there? Maybe a little bit of straw, maybe. It's kind of got a little bit of a faint color, like a very, very light coloring. It's like a little bit of apricot, a little bit of dates too, which is kind of weird. It's also got some floral, like some floral properties in both the nose and the palate. Almost like what is it? There's like it's like a medicinal, like a menthol. That's what, yeah. It's kind of almost like a menthol minty. That's I don't want to say menthol and minty, but it kind of is, but it kind of isn't. But don't let that scare you away from this. Like, this is a very enjoyable bottle. It's oops, you didn't see that. It's a very enjoyable dram. Like, this is, I know some of those words are scary, like smoky, bold, menthol. Like, no, this isn't like menthol cigarettes or something like that. It's everything about this bottle is right in its proportion. So if you're wanting something that's different from what you have, I guarantee you probably don't have something like this in your collection unless you're a big Scotch guy or you have a big collection. If you want something that's a little bit different, but that's not super nuts, that's just like a nice entryway into something, to a different avenue, I definitely recommend this. Or it's great to have for when you have people over that are used to, they're tried and true, or they do like some things that are bold and smoky. This will be that, but yet toned down, but yet different. I mean, like, how many scotches have a menthol tone in there with apricots and dates and flowers? Like, nobody. Like, nothing. This is a very unique scotch that, from both the first time I had it a couple years ago to now, I can't think of anything. Like, there's a lot of time when I'll have a scotch, I'll be like, this reminds me of that. That reminds me of this. That is similar to what I had this time. This, it doesn't really remind me of anything. It kind of like it stands on its own, which is probably fitting since it's going for the whole Viking thing, because the Vikings were very unique. Like, they stood on their own. They were the Vikings. They were the king of the hill. Nobody could compare to them, and nothing compares to this. So I stand by this one as you need it in your collection. It is a hell of a bottle. It's a win-win, and definitely for the price point. How can you go wrong? 50 Canadian pesos, like, what? That's basically free. If you're living in the States, that's basically free. Highland Park is basically paying you to drink this whiskey. Do yourself a favor and go out and buy a bottle, because either eventually they're going to realize that they made a huge mistake and they're going to raise the price by like 100%, and it's going to be a $100 bottle. So remember, I warned you. Go get one. Hell yeah, that's a good drink.